We're talking about the comic book industry again because this Kickstarter kind of proves the point that a lot of people make that while the comic book industry is in trouble, and it's been in trouble for a long time, it didn't have to be. It could actually be quite successful. I have a few examples pulled up to why that is, but I want to start here. So this is the original Spawn action figure and comic book remastered. Todd McFarlane joined forces with Kickstarter to deliver an updated version of the original Spawn action figure and comic book. It's actually a pretty cool campaign, but the number I want you to see is how much it's made. $854,000 with 28 days to go. This campaign has a lot of time left. It's gonna make more than $1 million. I don't even know what the limit is on this. Sky's the limit for how much this thing can make. It's gonna make a lot of money. It's basically an updated version of this old figure right here from 1995, and I guess he's updating the comic book as well. Now, I don't really like to support Kickstarter because they've done some really messed up things. They've kicked people off of the platform for political reasons, which is why I like to mostly just stick to Indiegogo. That's the platform that I will exclusively back products on. This is tempting, however, because I've always liked the design of Spawn, and I've always liked Todd McFarlane's art, but I just don't like Kickstarter. However, the reason I want to even talk about this is because there's demand for it. This is a comic book related property. It's a very loved property, and obviously there's big demand for it. As I sit here and record this video, the money just keeps going up, and it's going to keep going up higher and higher. It's going to be really interesting. I wonder how high this will get. But you know, one thing that this says to me is that there's still big demand for comic books. Okay? And it's not just because of the Spawn figure. I can go to 2 comic books that have made a ton of money within the past year. EARTHWORM Jim, $815,000. It's a lot of money for a comic book. I can go to Ethan Van Sciver's Cyberfrog 2 Wrecked Planet. This one's fairly new, $493,000. These are over on Indiegogo. Okay, that's a lot of money. And it says to me that people still want comic books. But you know what they don't want? They don't want trash like this, Gotham High. They don't want trash like this, New Warriors. One of the reasons that the comic book industry was dying well before everything that's going on right now dropped is because of crap like this. And you know what's funny? We'll go back to Gotham High real quick. Gotham High has the complete backing of the mainstream media. When I look, I just Googled Gotham High. I got about 40 articles. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but there was a handful of articles saying, yeah, Gotham High gives us the best Batman in years. Yeah, we finally got the true Catwoman. Yeah, fun take on a triangle of Joker and Catwoman and Batman. A newsflash, there was never a love triangle between the 3 of them. But you know, these people don't actually read comics. Point is, you know, you have stuff like this backed by the comic book media, geek media, and they'll sit there and shill for it all day. Doesn't help. Yet campaigns like this get no coverage from mainstream media. None. In fact, they won't write one article on the success of these comics. And people still find a way to find them and buy them and support them. Right? I don't even know if this Spawn figure got that much backing. I don't know. But, you know, all of this says to me that there's still plenty of support for comic book fans, but the comic book pros and the comic book industry, they don't want them. Gail Simone famously said, it's okay to chip away at, you know, white cis males. We don't need those tent poles to hold up. We don't need those tent poles to hold up the industry. Now, I would argue it's just males that are the main demographic. I don't necessarily think you need to put a color in there. I think all dudes love badass characters, you know, and good-looking women. I think that's, well, maybe, okay, not all males like good-looking women, but I think everyone appreciates people that look good in general, okay? So, like, the dudes that are, you know, not into the badass-looking ladies, probably like the badass-looking dudes. That's fine. My point is, you know, people like this traditional-looking stuff here, you know, and they're not getting it. Does this look like something that people want to purchase? No, this comic book will fail immediately. New Warriors will at most make it to issue 20 and be canned. And if it makes to issue 20, that's because they're propping it up just to keep it propped up. I would say probably by issue 12, it'll be shipping around 10,000 units shipped. If things pick up and we even get to see those numbers, I don't know how the comic book industry is going to look in a year. You know what I'm saying? But the point is, we went from having stuff that looked like this to this. This is why comic books have been dying. And I know that all these pros, they want to sit around and say, oh, it's just due to this, it's just due to everything that's going on right now. That's why the comic book industry is dying. Well, it's dying because, well, for one, all of you have been super disrespectful to customers, and you've been writing nothing but political hack trash for the past at least 6-7 years. Okay, you did a big push for it. You keep doubling down on it. And the comic book industry was just never going to survive. It's been getting worse. It's just everything that's going on right now has accelerated it. But there's still a demand for it. And what's crazy to me is they don't want to meet that demand. They don't care about that demand. All they care about is pushing the message. I want to push that New Warriors message. You want to push that Gotham High, It's ridiculous. And it's not how you run a business. And the people that have paid for it are the comic book shops. They paid for it. Some of them don't care. I did a video the other day about that guy that wanted to go after Ethan Van Sciver, the guy who writes and draws Cyberfrog. Okay, they went after him. Wanted to show up at his doorstep and take him out. That's pretty terrible. Okay. And then you can't even work with people that have different ideologies. Sean Gordon Murphy wanted to work with Doug Tenable. What do? Well, then Tess Fowler, who's some third-rate nobody, can pretty much drag Sean Gordon Murphy to his knees and make him abandon his agreement on a Bigfoot Bill 2 because she don't like Doug. So therefore, Sean Gordon Murphy is canceled, which is outrageous to me. Sean Gordon Murphy is like one of the top dogs in the mainstream industry. And some nobody can literally get him canceled because she don't like his politics. Okay? These are the reasons that the comic book industry is trash now. Because you can literally be a nobody and have all of the power because they're afraid of all of these NPCs and these political like progressive messages. They need to put them in everything. And if you disagree with that, you're gone. You don't support that 100%. You're not down with the cause. You're gone. Look at what Donnie Cates did. Said, if you don't like Snowflake and Safespace, well, you're an istaphobe. 200,000 people downvoted that trailer. All of them, I guess, just hate people because they don't like Snowflake and Safespace. That's the comic book industry. There's people there. They obviously want the products. But unfortunately, you're not going to get them from the mainstream anymore. You'll get stuff like this, but this isn't a comic book. This is an action figure, And Todd McFarlane can pretty much do whatever he wants. He just Kickstarter and he'll make money anyway. But my point is, comics could survive, but they're not going to. It literally does have to die to rise up like a phoenix from something else. Because if the industry tanks completely, there'll always be something there. But if it were to tank completely, eventually I think the people that have talent will be hungry enough that they'll probably tell Tess Fowler to take a trip and, stand up for real comic books and stop caring about what these snakes say, like Heather Antos running around every day saying, we don't need American customers. I mean, come on. What is this? This is a joke. It's a complete joke at this point. And I don't know when it's going to stop. But the demand's there. People obviously want the stuff. The industry's just going to need to die before we can get it back. That's just kind of how it is. Always going to be able to get crowdfunding stuff. Ethan's not going anywhere. The stuff will be there. But mainstream media, comic books, I don't know where that's going to go. I think it needs to fail to rise up again, though. That's for sure. Anyway, That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts on this. I'd like to hear what you have to say. Also, share the video. That would be pretty cool. Make sure you're still subscribed. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that notification bell, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, take a moment. Make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. There's something going on right now, and they've been unsubscribing people. So just take a second and double check on that, and subscribe if you're new.
Hello there.